Good evening, everybody. This is John Marola from Keeping It Real Section 5 Football, and this is our 33rd episode and our 8th week here at Premier Sports. And I first have to thank Joe Muno for everything that he's done for us, having us up here doing the Player of the Week and, just all this stuff. It's really appreciate it, and just want to say thank you for everything that he's done, to help out Section 5, make it grow a little bit. I was out interviewing our Week 8 player last night at his high school. He happens to be our Week 5 Player of the Week, and wait until you hear his numbers this past week. But first I have to introduce my partners. On my far right, Section 5 Hall of Fame football coach from East High, Coach Paul Brigandy. Paul.
Thank you, John, and hello, Dave. We're looking forward to a fun podcast tonight because now we get into the second season.
Yes,
and now it's win or go home.
Yes, we do. And our man in the middle, fresh off the World Series last night in New York City, Coach, football coach and baseball Hall of Fame coach, Dave Lanning. Coach.
Thank you, John.
So, do you guys want to talk about that? Talk about
the World Series game last night, Game 3 at the big stadium in the Bronx. And
there you go.
I think we got
everybody's got to hear you, Coach.
Well, that's good. Some people don't want to, probably. But, the Yankee Stadium, full house, exciting crowd, great weather. And the Dodgers took the air out of the balloon early.
Yes, they did.
First inning, Freddie Freeman, 2-run homer, and it was like it was 8-0. The Yankee fans were disheartened, and the Yankees couldn't figure it out till the 9th inning. 2-run home run by Verdugo, but it was much too late by then.
Yep.
So a great game tonight, Game 4. Drove back today from the ball game.
How was that?
It was a thrill. The drive was easy.
Okay.
It was a thrill being there. New York City is New York City. It's fun, but it was just great being at the ballpark.
Hey, have you ever been to a World Series game?
Hadn't been to plenty of big league games around the country, but never to a World Series. So this was a bucket list thing.
Well.
And the fact that it was the Dodgers, who I've rooted for since 1951.
Wow.
I'm elderly.
How old were you?
I was just 5 years old, and I knew at that time it was serious because my father had a game on the radio. I've related this story before. 1951 playoff game between the Dodgers and the Giants. It's a famous game. Bobby Thompson of the Giants hit a late home run, a game-winning home run to win it and send the Giants to the playoffs. Well, my father got so worked up he had an asthma attack.
Oh, my.
Had to go in the hospital in an oxygen tent.
Oh.
And I knew at that point this was serious business.
Take the game very well.
I've rooted for the Dodgers ever since. My own sons and grandsons are all Dodger fans, and we've passed that on.
Have you been out to Los Angeles?
Been out to Los Angeles, out to Dodger Stadium. It's just what it's supposed to be. You see it on TV. It's La La Land, palm trees, and it's well kept. It's the third oldest stadium in the big leagues.
You can't even tell, really.
And you can't tell. It was built in 1962.
Wow.
But it's immaculate. It's a great place to visit.
And John, you had a out-of-state trip this week, and you saw yourself a great high school rivalry.
Yes, I call it my second home. I was down in Massillon, Ohio. This is going to be the first show that we're going to show on Thursday. The one after us will be our Week 8 Player of the Week. And after that, I have some clips of down in Massillon. Just let people see a high school stadium that had 18,000 people there. And it is one rivalry, I'll tell you. I mean, it's bitter. It's very bitter. I loved it because we just don't see rivalries like that up here at all. I mean, these people hate each other. And but it was just a joy being down there. Our two friends that Paul and I know, Dave Weimer and Tom Rivera, they were great to us. We had an awesome time, lots of food, and some great high school football.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, Massillon is the home of where Paul Brown, the legendary coach, he coached at Massillon. Earl Bruce, Don James, Washington, Chris Spielman played there.
Yep.
Just a real rich tradition of football in Massillon, Ohio. And you're going to a high school football game. There's 20,000 people there. And,
I like going down. Paul and I have been down a couple times. I got to get Coach Lanning down there sometime. This past week when I went down, I went with Coach Lemline, and he's never been down there. And I talked to him. We've all, Paul and I have talked to him about Massillon and this and that and everything. When he went down and actually seen the stadium, seen the field house, seen the whole everything, what it's all about, he truly said, he goes, "This is unbelievable." And I told him, you can only talk about so much until you go. It's like, I'm sure it's like going to, like, if you're a Yankee fan going to a Yankee game, an LA fan going down to LA for the first time.
Right.
You see it on TV, you hear about it, but until you witness it, it's unbelievable. And we had a great time. The weather was fantastic. It was 68 degrees Saturday down there.
Wow.
And we, like I said, we ate a lot of food and watched a lot of good high school football. You want to start getting into this past week 8? And
well, we can do that. It's as Paul said, it's sectional time, and I thought maybe we'd go over the seeds first of all.
Okay.
And then get into last week's games.
Sounds good.
Based on the results of last week, this is how it's all turned out. In AA, Fairport earned the number 1 seed with a win over McQuaid. McQuaid's the 2, Aquinas 3, and UPrep the 4 seed. Hilton is a strong 5 seed.
Yep.
So the 4-5 seed game, we'll talk about those matchups later in terms of who's playing. In the A bracket, Brighton, who finished 8-0, is the 1. East High earned the 2 seed. Canandaigua 3. Irondequoit, a strong Irondequoit team, 7-1, the 4 seed, and Monroe, the 5th. So that 4-5 game is going to be a tough one this week as well. In the B's, no surprise there. Batavia 8-0, the 1 seed. Hunting Eye Falls Lima 2. Eastridge and Virtus round out the top 4. Class C, ER Gananda, who's on a 7-game tear right now, finished 7-1 to earn the 1 seed. Letchworth, Warsaw Perry the 2. Leroy Calmum 3, and Haverling the 4.
Yes.
Class D's, Avon, one of the undefeateds.
Yep.
The 1 seed, Alexander, with just 1 loss, 2. Oakfield, Alabama, Elba, and Geneseo Mount Morris round out the top 4. Pembroke, in 8-man, 7-0. They're the 1 seed there. So that's how it's rounding out. We're down to a few undefeated still. Brighton, 8-0. Batavia, 8-0. Avon, 8-0. Penn and Pembroke, both 7-0. So we're down to just those 5 now undefeateds. Those are our seeds as we go in.
Wow.
And again, we'll talk about those matchups in a minute. Last week, a couple of interesting games, and chime in, guys, please. UPrep had a tough one with Penfield. 18-16 was the final. And Tavion Wilson for UPrep, 9 tackles, fumble recovery, and a touchdown reception for them to lead them defensively. Quarterback, C.J. Robinson, 168 yards. Running back. C.J. Robinson, 168 and 2 touchdowns. So UPrep going into the sectionals on a little bit of a tear right now. Monroe, 32, Eastridge, 0. Pooty Cunningham continued his strong play, threw for over 305 yards, 3 touchdowns for Monroe. Messiah Hampton, 2 touchdown receptions to continue his hot streak, scored every week through the air. Anthony Omebi, 7 tackles, 4 for sacks. In the Indies, Wayne has won, I think, 6 straight now.
Yes, they have.
And they beat Geneva 21-0, their 6th straight win. Caden Clark, 12 tackles, and a 91-yard touchdown fumble recovery for Wayne.
And one thing about that, Wayne this week is playing first-round sectionals against our week number 8 player from Pelmac.
Well, they've got their big rivalry game this week.
Yes.
Oh,
It's
okay.
for the Indies. Remember, they're not playing in the
So
sectionals.
they have that extra block.
They have that extra block, so they play for the axe.
Oh, okay.
That's what it's called. And the winner takes home this axe. They proudly display for a year, sort of like the brown jug used to be.
Yep,
Right.
yep.
So Wayne and Palback, I'm not sure where that game is this week, but that's a big one
It's at
in the
Pelmac.
Indies at Palmac. Fairport and McQuaid.
Yes.
This was a featured game last week. 2 6-1 teams. Fairport came out on top, 31-21, and the Red Raiders a statement win for them. It's been a while since a big win like that.
And that win got them the number 1 seed.
And it got them the number 1 seed in a home game, 31-21. Fairport's defense was rock solid. They defended the run very, very well. They forced McQuaid to throw the ball almost 40 times, I think.
Wow.
Sam Roselli for Fairport, the junior quarterback, threw for 104 yards and rushed for 85 and 2 touchdowns. He had a nice game. Noah Remington, running back, 104 yards and a touchdown for the Red Raiders. And young man, senior safety for Fairport, named Jack Gosson, just before the half, with 4 seconds remaining in the half, picked off a McQuaid pass, took it to the house.
Oh, nice.
That's
For
a
a pick
backbreaker, and that is the way you want to go into
And there
halftime with
you
a
go.
lift. Yep.
Yeah,
And I think Fairport got the ball the second half.
they did.
So,
Danny Russell, a sophomore outside backer, chipped in with 7 tackles. So a big win for Fairport, a backbreaker on that interception for sure. And Fairport, a long time since they've been the 1 seed, but
yep.
let's hope they enjoy it.
Yes.
Aquinas over Hilton, 31-14. Trent Buttles continued his strong play, 185 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Gillians, 8 tackles, 5 sacks.
Yeah, he was in the backfield all evening. I watched it.
Somebody woke him up.
Yeah.
He had a heck of a game.
Yes,
And
he
Lucas Leone,
Lucas is
10 tackles.
solid, yeah.
And according to the stats, he goes over 400 career tackles,
Wow.
Wow.
which is either a record for Section 5 or close to it. Thomas, 41, Schrader, 7 to gain bragging rights in Webster.
Well, Schrader won that game, didn't it?
Did I have it
Yeah,
backwards?
I think Schrader,
Okay.
Schrader won that game.
All right, fine. 41-7 was the final. Brighton over Victor, 14-0 to go 8-0 to grab the 1 seed. Gavin Parks continued strong play, 122 yards rushing and a touchdown. Matthew Heiniger, 10 tackles and an interception for the Bruins. A couple more games here to mention. East, a big win over Canandaigua,
Yes.
42-35.
Yeah, I want to say a couple things about that. You know, you spoke about Leon with maybe the tackle record. The kicker for East, I think, broke the record for most points.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, that was announced in there. But that was a wild game. I believe East scored the first 2 touchdowns. Canandaigua came back with 3, and they were up 21-14 at halftime. East then, the second half, gets the next 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
Has them 42-21. Canandaigua comes back with 2 touchdowns and ends the game on the 5-yard line of East.
Wow.
And so it was a wild one, and they will both be in the same bracket come to the sectional play.
Yep.
Look forward to that one. Tyler Benjamin, 306 yards passing for East, 3 touchdowns. Kevin Shepard, 2 touchdowns through the air, receiving 163 yards. Batavia, again, goes to 8-0 with a 42-20 win. And the Bronx Buckholtz, rather, 2 touchdown passes. He's had a stellar year so far for them. And one last one I mentioned, Irondequoit making a statement going into sectionals, scoring 60 points in their win over Gates Chili. So a big one for them as they move forward. Well, I guess I do have a couple more if we have time here, and I'm sure we do.
Yes,
E.R.
sir.
Gananda, as I said, 7th straight win, 42-29 over Leroy Calmum. Catterell Sneed, 3 touchdowns running, 1 touchdown reception. And Sneed over 213 yards rushing as well, or 213 yards rushing to go with that. Avon it goes to 8-0, 47-16 win over Canasteo Greenwood. And their 2-pronged attack of Wes Farley, 145 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, and Calvin Dolgus, 158 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, 1 passing TD. Has set the pace for them. So Avon looks like the team to beat in that classification.
Yes. That was a breathful.
Yeah. Trying to give people credit here as we move forward. And a couple of other notables: Jack Cianfrani, former Player of the Week for Oakfield, Alabama. Elba, 2 touchdowns. Avery Watterson, 150 yards rushing in their win.
Did it say how many yards he had?
I don't have Jack's numbers.
Okay.
Liam Campbell from York, 15 tackles in their 26-24 win over Attica. Noah Leiter of Letchworth, Warsaw Perry, 192 yards rushing and 12 tackles.
Wow.
Busy night for that young man. Mason Delmarle, as we've said, our Player of the Week for the second time, over 218 yards rushing. You'll point to that later on when we talk about him.
I can get on that right now. Give you a chance.
Okay,
to catch
sure. I'm
a
good. Let it rip.
I was out there yesterday to hand him his Week 5 hoodie. He happens to be our Week 8 winner. And one thing I'd like to point out is every player or players, we had 1 week where we had 2 players, they come from the coaches. The coaches email me and the player stats, and we just kind of go over them and try to be as fair as possible. But all of our award winners have come in through the coaches over from the email. The one with Mason this week, he was our Week 8 winner. His game last week, how about this? 40 carries, 243 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Wow.
And he had like 8 tackles on defense. And first thing I said to him was, "Did you sleep good Friday night? Because if you didn't, oh my God."
He's a workhorse.
Oh, and the Week 5, when he was our Week 5 Player of the Week, I believe he had 33 carries for 242.
Wow.
I mean, it's just, he's just...
He's having a fantastic season.
And he's only a junior.
Wow.
Junior.
Yep, and he played hockey. Remember we were talking about his build?
Yes.
With his, how thick his arms and legs are, and he says... And we were talking off air a little bit, and he says, "Yeah, he played hockey." And I said, "Well, then now I know where you get your."
That's a name that I'm sure we'll hear more and more as we go into the future.
Yes, he is one heck of a player. So
there's a whole stable of good running backs this year.
Yes,
around the section.
I mean, we could start with Cam over at Irondequoit,
right?
And Miles, actually, his other running mate, Miles.
Gavin Parks.
Gavin's
had a great year for Brighton. The Nesmith at McQuaid.
Allen over at McQuaid's had one heck of a
great
year.
Farley out in Avon.
Yes.
Every week.
Ben over at East Rochester, Canada.
Ben Newman,
those back-to-back 300-yard performances. I mean, the kids have really put up some big numbers. And
these are the ones you hear about. I mean, as far as the outstanding linemen, there's a bunch of those guys too that we just don't hear their names, but are doing it every week.
Yeah, I remember we did bring the Irondequoit line in
after
the Week 1 the one game because they I think Cam had ran so well, and those linemen do a great job, and all those places, they wouldn't get the yardage and they're getting without those.
Talking to Mason yesterday over at Palmac, he did say to me before we went on, he's like, "Coach, I have to say something about my linemen," and I said, "Son, that's awesome. That's great to hear. That these kids, take their buddies in and give them a little recognition." Maybe next year, this is our first year doing this, maybe we can do a running back or a skill kid with a lineman.
Lineman of the week.
There's nothing to say that a lineman O or D can't be the player of the week. Right?
No.
A linebacker.
Right, absolutely.
So that's coaches, please nominate your ball players.
Yes, especially on the offensive side because those kids really don't get anything. But then at the end of the year, you look and it's like, wow, Paul, our right tackle, didn't give up a sack the whole year. And he had 250 snaps. Didn't give up a snap. That's a great year for him. So I think that should be recognized maybe a little more. We can get into. We have a whole bunch of stuff after the season we'd like to get into for next season. It's just, we're going to take a little bit of time off, but not much. And
we take off for the holidays.
Yeah, definitely holidays. And then
you probably have a trip planned, don't you, Paul?
I try to schedule around the keeping it real Section 5 football, but as last year I was down in Florida part of the winter.
Is that going to be this year too?
I will be down there,
nice.
Whether I'll call in or whatever.
Oh, that's right. We did have a call.
We did a call in.
When should we show up down there?
Well, I'm gonna tell you,
maybe an on-site. Show
we might.
I can bring the equipment down.
You're right. It's always nice. They do play high school spring football down there too. So it's always a warm place to be when it's cold here.
Okay. Coach, got any more with you?
Nope. What do you say we talk about the upcoming sectionals a little bit?
That'd be great.
They should be very, very interesting. And I know we have a couple 4 or 5 seed games that are going to be.
The 4-5s kind of remind me of the March Madness when they talk about the 12-5 matchups. Remember, there's always like a couple upsets with the 12-5s.
Yeah.
Well, this year with our 4-5s in Section 5, I mean, we could start with the A, I think.
I think there's 2 that stand out. One of them is in the A classification. That's Irondequoit and Monroe.
Yeah, and both of them are high-scoring teams. And really, I believe Monroe's losses were to East and Canandaigua.
Yep.
And Irondequoit lost to undefeated Brighton. So, the only defeats have been to some very, very good football teams, and so it should be a very interesting matchup. There's a lot of really great skill athletes on that field because we know the Irondequoit receivers and the Monroe receivers. So that's going to be a great matchup, and a lot of them will be playing both sides of the ball and be matched up both offensively and defensively against each other.
The one thing I was maybe we were going to talk about it, but I think it just got a little too tough. Maybe is to predict who. But there's so, we don't know. You know who's going to win? The team that's got the most healthy.
Well, you're right. I mean, you look at those classes, and there's 5 real strong that on a given day.
A and AA.
Yeah, that it would not surprise me if any one of those teams won that classification.
Plus, now you're seeing a club for the second time.
Yep.
And so you can get a little better scouting report on them maybe. You pick up some tendencies from the last time you played. That sort of thing comes into play now, too, in preparation.
Did you ever play anybody, Dave, twice in a season and have a different result the second time?
Different result. That'd be hard to remember that. Well, in 1997, I do remember this. During the middle of the year, we played Webster at our place, and our quarterback was out. It separated his shoulder, was out for 4 games. We had won the previous 3 with the guy that took over for him, did a nice job. Webster was a pretty good club. They were on our heels all year, and for a few years, were chasing us. And we lost that game mid-year, and came back later and beat them in the sectionals.
Games.
Yeah, with Will Driscoll back at the helm.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it can happen.
Yes.
How about you, John? Have you been any of that where you've played a team twice and had a different
No,
result?
because back when I was coaching at Aquinas, we played all the Buffalo Catholics during the regular season, and then we would play McQuaid would be our one team from but every during sectionals would be like Rush Henrietta or Fairport.
Just looking at some of these matchups, you could technically have McQuaid and Aquinas playing each other a second time.
Yes,
this
if they
year.
both win.
Canandaigua and East could be playing each other a second time, and it's very difficult to beat a real good team 2 times in a row, and adjustments will be made on both sides, both teams. So fasten your seatbelts.
Exactly. I mean, this is, I was thinking on the way up here earlier, the kids up at school have a little saying, and I think football right now in Rochester at this time of year, They call it, this is real time. And it's either you're going to do it or you're going to go home.
Well, collect the gear.
Yeah,
Yep.
you collect the gear. So, that really is the thrill of victory, agony of defeat for some of these kids, because you have a lot of high expectations. A lot of these programs, they expect to win it all.
Yes.
And only one team can do that.
Yeah.
So
The other 4-5 matchup this week that looks like an interesting one is UPrep and Hilton.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yes.
That's going to be Saturday
That's
at the
it.
stadium downtown at 2 p.m.
Right.
And just because I'm going to those games. And then the Friday night one, Monroe at Irondequoit,
Right.
7 p.m.
Right.
I'll be at that one, too.
I plan on going to that one, too.
Yes.
I think I'll be there as well.
Maybe we'll do a little broadcasting.
That's a possibility. Yeah.
I'm sure Coach Victor won't mind.
You can do maybe a sideline interview or something.
We could that's what
Let's
we did.
get this
we
done.
Did that, we did that at
We did.
McQuaid and UPrep.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
I missed that one.
Were you out of town at a
I
baseball
was on the road.
convention?
No, I think I was somewhere, but not
Not in Rochester?
in Rochester.
Shucks.
Sorry about that. Hilton, typically rock rib defense, ball control. They can throw it when they get you jam in the box. They'll throw it. UPrep's been scoring some points.
And
healthy.
That's sometimes matchup in styles. If Hilton can get ahead and grind it out, shorten the game, it makes it it makes it interesting. UPrep obviously wants to jump them and keep the foot on the gas.
Yeah, and now weather comes into play too a little bit with different styles. So I don't know what the weather report is for
I
the
know
weekend.
Friday's supposed to be 53 and sunny. Tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday in Rochester, 77. No rain.
Oh, so you got some warmer. The other thing is, you mentioned the weather and sometimes the rain. It's the wind.
Yes.
And
Wind
somebody
was
has
always the biggest
big
thing
one.
for
Yeah,
me.
when going into the wind, having the wind.
Rain, we could throw it.
And I think Saturday they're calling 55, partly cloudy.
That's all right.
So I always look at the weather because I want to know what I'm dealing with. We probably, I can't promise, we'll probably do a Irondequoit. We'll do a pregame like we did at McQuaid. Pregame, halftime, and postgame interview
Okay.
with both coaches. And maybe Saturday. I'm going to go Saturday. Maybe we'll do that again Saturday. Everything, I'm telling people, everything depends on the weather.
Sure
Right.
does.
Because I don't want to get any of my equipment wet, and I really don't like standing in the rain. I'm sorry, I'm old.
Well, it happens.
Not as old as you guys, but
Right.
It's how you feel, I think.
Yeah.
Feeling pretty good, truthfully.
Feeling pretty
you
good.
look pretty good.
Thank you,
You
John. I'm
do.
almost 40, so. So those two big 4-5. Now, there's always an upset somewhere, too.
Oh, absolutely.
A
And
2-6 or whatever, or 3-7, something will happen somewhere.
Who could be your upset team?
Oh, boy.
I'm going to put you all on. I'm going to go on the spot, too, and I already know who mine's going to be.
You do, huh?
Yes.
Who's that? You go first.
I'm going to go first. I'm going to go with who is Penfield playing?
Penfield plays.
McQuaid?
Penfield plays Aquinas.
They're the 7?
It's
They're the
a 6-3. That's a
They're the
6
6-3, yeah.
6-3 game. So that's a Penfield. And Penfield, they played UPrep very tough last week. That seems to be a nice little rivalry to Penfield Aquinas.
It's like I said, it's hard to come up with picks like that. I would love the Section 5 football be a little bit like the NFL. You know how the NFL come out with their injury reports, like on Thursday? If they came out with like an injury report.
Well, that's one of those games where Penfield runs the football.
Right.
And if they can control the clock and
shorten the
shorten
game.
it up, get a score, who knows?
Buttles gets out in that open, he's dangerous.
He's a threat for sure.
Yep, he's dangerous.
So that could be a good one.
Yep.
That's your upset pick?
You know what? And I didn't even know they were playing Aquinas, and
Okay.
I can't take it back. So I guess I'm going to go with it.
Your friends
I'm
from
gonna go,
Dewey Avenue
well,
are going to be
I'm going to go with
upset with you.
Well,
Johnny.
I got my little guy, the head coach at Anthony Bianchi,
Yeah.
coaching over at Penfield.
Sure, Penfield,
so,
right.
right. Going with that crew.
Well, that should be an enjoyable game, and all these teams now like we said, you got to come ready to play, or you'll be turning your equipment in, and it's survive, advance to the next round.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an 8-man or an 8-team tournament in each bracket, is it?
Yes. Well, except for one doesn't have 8 teams.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the one with Batavia doesn't have 8.
Batavia's got
eight,
7.
6, I think. Yeah, is it?
And I think they get a bye the first round.
Right.
Likely somebody's got to, yeah.
Yes,
Right.
I think they get the bye, and then the other 6 play each other, and then the 7 and 3 winner plays Batavia in the second round.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's how
good luck.
it's run. Yeah.
Batavia's
So-
hot.
Would you like to go over our week 8? Or we did touch upon it a little bit.
Well, you interviewed the young man. Our winner,
Yes.
our player of the week, Mason. What do you got?
Well, I think I already said it, but his clip with I will be on after this episode with us 3, and I'll have that on. And that, it did like a little 10-minute thing, and he was very good. And, we just kind of went over the season that he had. He had one hell of a good season. He rushed for, I think he rushed for almost 1,200 yards.
That was a fantastic year.
8 games. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that, and then sectionals with him. And like I said, they open up home Friday night against Wayne. And Wayne is no pushover.
No,
Well, they're on a hot streak
Yeah.
themselves.
Yep. So that's going to be a very interesting game.
Again, for the Axe, the
for
rivalry
the
game.
X. Hey. You gotta,
And I think there's a lot of teams this week playing pool play games. And I'm not sure of some of these teams that did not, obviously make the sectionals. And they can continue playing another game or two, I believe. And probably have to check on the.
Well, the Indies, yeah, all the Indies will be doing that.
They have their games,
Yeah.
and then there was the teams in the classifications that did not make sectionals.
yeah. Yeah. So,
All right.
everybody good?
Good
We're
here.
Good. We're
Good?
good.
Everybody good?
Yeah, Game 4 tonight of the World Series. Got to
Game
get back
4,
home for that.
Yeah, got to get out of here and get home for that. Again, I just want to thank Joe Muno for everything that he's done for us over here these past 8 weeks. He opened up his store for us so we can go in and broadcast. And I just want to say thank you again. We're very appreciative to your efforts as far as helping out Section 5 and the kids.
And right on, John. You know what's nice. And again, we want everybody to continue watching, continue to subscribe if you're new to this podcast. But we have a lot of out-of-state people that right now that are kind of following the Section 5 sectionals, and they look to us for some information and on some of the results and some of the the brackets, so that they're well informed. But there are people out of state listening and watching, and we want to continue to pass that on to them.
Yep, exactly. And again, I'd like to thank all the coaches. I had a couple coaches. I don't want to just name them out, but you guys know who you are. You email me stuff every week, and I really appreciate it. I'm not just saying that. I really, really appreciate you. Even if the stats weren't 300 yards or whatever. Just, recognizing your players and just getting them in. And next year, what I'd like to do is I'd like to do more of a recognizing player type of thing, from teams, and like what you're doing, but maybe expand it a little more. And we can only do that with your help with the coaches. Like I said before, all the kids that we've had on are from the coaches. So again, thank you, coaches. And I think I'm pretty good.
We're good.
Yeah, again, coaches, we'll cover anything in regards to Section 5 football.
Yes.
If you're doing public service, if your kids are out raising money for a charity, let us know. We'd be happy to get that out there for you.
Yeah, I know a lot of those teams do some type of fundraiser, things in the community, and that's good stuff. That really is, and we've tried to hit all different facets, officials, We've had on, the Kyle Fenn with the Rydell, some of the equipment things, and I'm sure we will have him on in the off season. Any of the new equipment safety features that are coming out, and we try to pass that on. And I know there'll be a ton of combines, college nights, and we want to get that information out there.
Well, if players are committing or they're being recruited, let us know. We'll get that word out there.
Yes, the more the merrier. That's the way I like to do this. Okay, I think I'm good.
Okay.
Everybody's good? Now, our next episode, we will be back at my house, depending on the weather at my house. Or over there, if we're in the garage or if we're downstairs. But we'll be back there, and it's still going to be on Thursday nights, and we're just going to go from there. So everybody just stay tuned, and like Coach said earlier, it's time to buckle down. Because
and if you get an opportunity to go to some of those games this week, it's a real fun time of the year.
Yes. If you enjoy high school football, this is the time to go. So, okay, ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 3.
Keeping it real, Section 5 football.
Good night. Everybody have a great night. Hello, everybody. This is John Marola from Keeping It Real, Section 5 football. And as you can see, I am out at Pelmac High School with
Mason Delmarle, running back.
And we were just talking off camera a little bit that he was our Week 5 Player of the Week. He's got his hoodie right there. And he just did it again. Now he's our Week 8 Player of the Week. And your stats are they're just ridiculous. I believe it was, we were just talking 40 carries.
40 carries, yep.
243. 3 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns, my bad. 4 touchdowns. I mean, we were saying you probably slept pretty good that night, didn't you?
Yeah, it was phenomenal sleep. Definitely good recovery there, so it was great.
And so that just kind of ended your season on a great note. Now it's, I like to call it football for real.
Yeah.
Football for real starts this week, and you guys are going to be home this Friday night, 7 against Wayne. So what are you looking for as far as that?
Well, I mean, I'm excited to play them. I know they're pretty good. I know they got some good offense and good defense, so all around, I'm excited. And I'm excited to get some more touchdowns.
Have you, you guys didn't play him this year, right? You guys didn't play him during the regular season?
No, we have not yet.
Okay, so who in your class, who's your number 1 seed? Is it Penn
Yen is our number 1 seed.
I thought it was Penn Yen. I wanted to be sure. I was out of town this past weekend. I was down in, I call it my second home. I was down in Massillon, Ohio, watching some high school football down there.
Nice.
And I'll tell you, and you're going to watch it. If you ever get an opportunity, please go watch. It was 4 hours and 15 minutes from my house. That's how far it is. It's all throughway. And there were 17,000 people at the game.
Oh, jeez.
It's big time.
Yeah.
It's right down the street from the Canton, the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So it's unbelievable football. It's high school. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. So anyways, back to you guys now. So you got Wayne, and it looks like Penn Yen. What are you guys, like a 3 seed, I believe I've seen?
We are 2 seed.
Oh, okay, 2 seed. All right, so you guys got a couple more weeks to do this, but you got to take care of Wayne first, and I know that they're solid. What are you looking for out of this team right now? You guys, I just watched you guys get done with practice. What is your goal now?
I think my goal right now will to be, hand me the ball and let me pound it in.
Okay.
We did some switches up there with the linemen. We're having some trouble there at left guard, but, we're going to work things out and we're going to get better.
Beautiful. That's awesome. What are you, you're a senior?
I'm a junior.
Junior, that's right. We did. I think we did said that before.
Yeah.
So you got another year, and I just found out you play hockey?
I used to play hockey. Yeah, I just stopped playing this year because I just didn't enjoy it anymore. So.
Oh, okay. Wow, that was tough. I mean, just going from football to hockey, your legs must have been killing you.
Oh,
You know,
Where I get my big legs from.
that's what Coach was saying when he was leaving. So what else would? All right, let's go through your offensive linemen. Give me your offensive linemen.
So,
Center, guard.
all right, so we made some switches from left to right.
Okay.
Left tackle, we have Timmy Batterby. He used to be my lead blocker, but we moved him to tackle. And we got Big John at guard now.
Okay.
Cormac Dennison at center, and then Wyatt at left or right guard, and then Johnny at right tackle.
Big John, you, because my name's John. So, how big is Big John?
He's 6'4", 280.
And I'm gonna let everybody know out there. I've been sitting watching practice, and they walk by. He is 6'4", 280. he's all of that. He's one big young man. Yeah. Okay. What else are we looking for out of this team now? What are your goals for this team? What is it? The brick, of course. Mm-hmm. Getting the brick, and then as far as like states, what is your feeling about states and all that?
I mean, I think that'd be great. I mean, but right now, I don't know. I don't really have a thought on that. Haven't really thought about going to states yet.
Who in sectionals? I know you're playing Wayne. Who are you going to play the winner of after that? The winner of who?
I believe after Wayne, we might be playing Newark again.
Oh, and you guys just played them, didn't you?
Yeah, we did just play and beat them last second with a throw. We passed it, so.
And you guys don't throw the ball too much. I know that.
Yeah, no.
Not especially after last week when you get the ball 40 times.
Yeah, 40 carries.
That's still incredible. That is so old time. I love it. I mean, wow, that's just unbelievable. One other thing. This is our last show at Premier Sports. We'll be at Premier Sports tomorrow night. Myself, my two partners, Paul Burgandy, Coach Lanning from Fairport, and we're going to go over all of the Week 8 and the first round of sectionals. And we're going to pick out, because there's some 4 or 5 games that are going on, I know, in the double A's and A's that are, I mean, you're going to flip a coin, because the teams are so close and so well matched up. I'm sure with you guys too. So, and then after that, we'll be back at my house doing once a week. And at the end of this, I'm going to throw on, like I was just talking about going down to Massillon. I videotaped when I was down there. And I happened to catch one of the players on last year's team, on their state championship team, and he gives us some good insight as far as, you know, growing up in Massillon. I mean, they have a field house that's bigger than the Cleveland Browns.
Oh God!
I mean, it's a friend of mine. Actually, Paul Burgandy says it's Hoosiers on steroids. That's the best way you could, yeah. And it's really incredible, just everything about it. And the only thing and then we'll get off of it, is it's the only high school game in America you can go to Las Vegas and get odds on it, and legally. Yeah. I mean, it tells you this. They've been playing for 135 years, so it's pretty incredible. So, like I said, after this episode right here, I'm going to clip on some stuff from the past weekend down in Massillon. Okay, what about anybody else you want to give a throw out to? Quarterbacks, receivers,
yeah,
teammates.
How
about any of those backs blocking for you?
Yeah, Sebastian and Timmy were blocking for me last game. They did a really good job. I always appreciate them, getting hurt for me. So.
Yeah, you got to throw them love every time you can. Well, great. Listen, I wish you all the luck in the world, and stay healthy, and go get that brick. But take care of Friday night first. You know how the old saying, but it's always true. It's one game at a time. Yeah. You guys look like you guys. I was just watching you guys a little bit today at practice. You guys got a nice little offense rolling around, and it's going to definitely keep people, your opponents, on edge. So I just want to wish you good luck and congratulations on being our, not back-to-back, but two-time Player of the Week, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, now we're going to end by keeping it real, Section 5 football.
Section 5 football, okay.
You ready? 1, 2, 3. Keep it real, Section 5 football. Good night, everybody. Have a great night. Hello, everybody. This is John Marola from Keeping It Real Section 5 Football. And as you can see, we are out in Massillon, Ohio. And I call Massillon my second home. And as I was videotaping earlier, you could see some of this. I'm fortunate enough right now to have one of the players from last year's state championship team. And he's going to introduce himself. We're going to have some questions and let people back home see some football that's out of state. Your name?
Malachi Card.
Malachi, you were on last year's team, 16-0.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about growing up in Massillon. People see this. You went through this. What is this all about?
So, growing up in Massillon, it's a great community. Everything's it's great. Sports here. Football, we're a football school, I'd say. We preach it it's like you eat, sleep, wake up, football.
It's here.
But it's a great city and everything. And I've went through all of this since I was young. This is this week specifically is something you don't see anywhere else. I mean, schools will have rivalries wherever, but this is a rivalry you don't see on an average, I'd say. There's so many people. There'll be so many more people here. I mean, it's only what time is it? 12:39. Game starts at 2. The stadium isn't filled up yet. It will be though.
Oh, it will be.
There's going to be people everywhere. You probably won't be able to walk that much, but it's just a great thing. And most of the guys here, this is what they live for. I've heard from people that I used to go to school with. They transferred to different schools. They miss it being here because you don't see something like this. This week specifically, you don't see anything like it. It's something you won't ever see.
The school week here, I know every day there's something going on in school. We've been here a couple times, and on a Thursday and Friday, just witnessing we call this this is like Hoosier on steroids. You know what I mean? It's just crazy how unbelievable this is, and how it's two schools 8 miles apart. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 8 miles apart, and I mean this is the rivalry you would look for. You wouldn't find this anywhere else.
No, not in high school football, at least.
No, not at all.
I've heard a lot of guys that graduate from Massillon, they may go D3, and they will play maybe a season, and then they're done because it was nothing like this.
How we play here is pretty much at a college level, I'd say. How we train, practice, everything's at a college level. We lift 3 days of the week, but when we're lifting, we're hard on it. We don't want to sit over here slacking off or anything. And you could go to a D2 college. If it's a really good D2 college, it'd probably be similar to us, if not a bit better. Mm-hmm. But anywhere else, it's nothing like this. You want to go to D1 top tier colleges if you want something better than what we have here. We're pretty much a college team, labeled as a high school team, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Now, as you can see over here behind us a little bit, we have Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. Seats, I believe, 18,000. Yeah. Behind, to the right a little bit, is their field house. And I've been in it a couple times. There's nothing. There's nothing.
It's beautiful. We practice in there a good chunk of the time, I'd say. I won't say all the time, but it's where we switch between both fields. So, and most of our equipment and for things and practicing like that is in there. So when we need to do our technique and things like that, we're in there. We're working on a lot of our plays that we don't need padding or anything like that. We'll be outside. So
that's awesome. And next to the field house basically is the weight room.
The weight room is literally a little ways down. Yeah. You walk down the hallway into the main building, and it's a little ways down.
Yeah.
It's a nice weight room too.
Yep, in the coach's office.
You don't see a high school with a weight room how ours is. No. We got a really, really nice weight room, and that's a shout out to Coach Stu and his pops, rest in peace. But it's a really nice weight room, and when we're in there, it's straight work. You don't want to sit here playing around or anything, because that's disrespect to Coach Stu's dad, Steve, and 2, it's a weight room. You're not supposed to play in there. It's straight business lifting. You want to grind your muscles down to get to the next stage.
And that's what it's all about, right? That's the separation between this and other parts. I'll cut that out. Tell me some other things now. Hold on. You're good. Tell some other things about growing up when you're a small, like Pop Warner, and you came to games, what was your first impression of, wow, this is something?
It was something, and it kind of surprised me. I wasn't expecting it because there's so many people here. It's so energetic. It's so energetic, and there's like so many people here you wouldn't expect that as a little kid. I mean, going to a high school game anywhere else, it's going to be a lot of people, but you see the whole home stands, it's filled. There's people everywhere, both sides, well, everywhere in the stands, it's everywhere, people. So you're just like surprised by it, and then like me being a little kid, I kind of looked up to most of the older players. I won't say I had a specific player, but it's like I wanted to be one of those kids when I got older. I wanted to be one that was starting, playing all the time, being able to hit kids, things like that. So
my biggest question, being from an out of state, coming to this, do the players realize how big this is and how special this is? I mean, or do they just say, it's...
Well, like you're talking about the out-of-state players, or
no? When you're playing during your season, I mean, your facilities are second to none.
I'm not gonna lie. When we run out the tunnel and everything, which more than likely you'll see today, you kind of just get like a little bit of a rush, if not a big rush, because you just see everybody in the stands, and it's just like it makes you a little happy. It did for me almost every single time. And it's like, I mean, it may kind of, to us growing up here in Massillon, it may seem like a kind of a casual thing, but at the same time, it's not, because everybody feels different about how it is. For me, I got a rush from it. I ain't gonna lie, I never really get butterflies, but I did get butterflies every time.
For McKinley.
This specifically.
All right, I talked to some of the players, even about like going through the McKinley. Now I'll tell you a personal story I went through. I was here last year with a friend. We went to the Football Hall of Fame. We were checking out at the counter. I had a Massillon football hoodie on. And the lady looked at me and said, "Oh, you're from Massillon?" I go, "Well, actually, I'm from Rochester, New York. We're here visiting friends in Massillon." And she goes, "We don't like them." And she turned around and walked away. And we were looking at each other, and then another lady came over behind the counter and said, she goes, "I'm not from McKinley. I'll wait on you." I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, how is your, how do you, I mean, you guys see each other. You see McKinley.
Yeah.
Do you talk to them?
So I'd say this: I'd say kids transfer from schools from wherever and all over. We've got a chunk of kids that say that came from Canton schools. Most of us are like cool with the kids from there, but once it comes to this week, pretty much it's fuck them. Excuse my language, but during this week, it's we don't speak to them, none of that. So my parents went to McKinley. Like, so growing up and like the past couple of years, I just keep it straight business for the entire week with my dad since I go to Massillon. He graduated from McKinley.
Okay.
So, but there are some people. It's mainly specifically for this week that because I know plenty of people from Canton. I have half my family's in Canton, so I specifically for this week, it's kind of just straight business with them. I don't speak to them unless I need to, kind of situation. Now, outside of it, everything's fine and dandy. Other people, they'll take it to the level of we don't like Massillon through straight like that.
Yeah.
For any McKinley week situation, like I say basketball and football specifically, because those are the two sports that'll have like the biggest McKinley week situation. So that's the kind of thing where I would, because I did used to play basketball. That kind of situation, it's like I don't talk to them. After that, everything's fine and dandy. So
Okay. Well, I think that's. I don't want to hold you up anymore, but
no, you're good. You're good.
this is just awesome for us to, because I mean we could put all of New York together and it doesn't compare to this. I mean,
there's very few places that could compare to this, and if anything, it's like the bigger schools from down south. If anything, I'd say they can compete to this. But other than that, like nothing can. So
yeah, exactly. Well, we're gonna end it now, and when we end our show, we always say one thing, but we're gonna end it with "Go Tigers" or TI, or we always say "Go Tigers," but we say I'll say 1, 2, 3, and we'll both say "Keeping It Real," Section 5 football. That's our section up in New York. We're Section 5, so. And the name of our podcast is Keeping It Real Section 5 Football. So we'll say it on 3. And then at the end, we'll say Go Tigers after that. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. You got a point, too. Sorry, Keeping it real Section 5 Football. Go Tigers. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
That's too much for you.
There's something going on. I don't want to lose another person. At least that'll be a story. Yeah, I give it Walmart. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Around and you're like, where am I? Not New York. Not it's Sammy Kansas. You're not Kansas anymore. What time is it? 12:30? That's a good time. I can't go anywhere until they get some tickets. No.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you